The final ultimate summon is here at last, to Bahamut the Dragon King. I've been very excited for this one. Mainly for the Kuja, and just the fight in general is one I've heard a lot about. So I'm happy that I actually get to go at it myself. In retrospect, there's a couple things I probably would have done differently. I would have tried to save this right here, this absolute nuke, for when there's just one target. Because on a single target, that is just crazy strong. Another thing is, I don't know about Alexander. I was just kind of thinking because the orb condition and the holy and everything, but it ended up not mattering at all. With Kuja here, you really don't need to bring more holy stuff. He kind of brings all you need. So, if I could do this again, I probably would have brought Odin instead of Alexander. Because Vivi's going to be keeping us at low health. The Warrior of Light's going to be keeping us alive anyways, so we might as well just take advantage of the defense down for him and the attack boost for us. Because yeah, Alexander's good for Alexander is good for survivability, but he sucks for damage. Get out of here. I'm switching it up a little bit. This is the first blind run in a long time where Noctis and Kais aren't here. That's not true. Shinryu, I didn't bring Kais because he couldn't really launch that thing. So I figured, why bother? And this one, you can't really delay it, and it's like, you know what? Maybe it could have worked if I would have sat there and thought about it for a while, but I was excited to run this. I've been so hyped for Kuja and all his stuff. I finally spent my burst tokens on Kuja. So now I only have a few left of those, which makes me a little nervous because of lightning. But I guess I gotta just roll the dice. I wasn't about to skip Kuja's burst. And I know I'm planning on pulling for Gladio, probably Gaotu, so maybe I could have gotten it there. But I don't care. I wanted to wreck Bahamut right out of the gate. And the burst helped with that. Well, technically you don't need the burst. It's just the LD that you... Stop. I know, it's okay. It is cool seeing Vivi and Kuja fighting side by side. There's this scene in Final Fantasy IX when they first approach Kuba at the top of the Ifa tree, where they all... Who is it? It's Zidane, Vivi, Garnet, Amarant, and Aiko. They get to the top of the Ifa tree and Kuja's there waiting for them. And the first person Kuja acknowledges when they approach him is Vivi. I don't remember exactly what he says, but it's some of the most demeaning shit I've ever seen. And Vivi's like an 8-year-old kid. Kuja is so evil, man. Like, he's just talking about, oh, hey, one of the dregs escaped because Kuja created all the black mages as basically just war machines. They're just weapons. Kuja's basically an arms dealer. So he just starts describing how to make a black mage. Mind you, Vivi is an 8-year-old kid struggling with his own mortality, his own existence, all this stuff. That's a lot for adults to even grasp. We can't even really wrap our heads around our own mortality. Being an 8-year-old kid and knowing that at any second you could just drop dead and that you weren't naturally born, you were created for the purposes of destruction, that's a lot to handle. And Kuja's just looking at Vivi like, oh, one of these dregs escaped. Hey, here's how you make you. And just starts talking to Vivi like he's a soup. Like, here's how you take a spoonful of this, a dash of that. It's so screwed up. Great scene, though. And it is also funny. There is a parallel between these two characters, Kuja and Vivi, because, you know, like I just said, Vivi learns about his own mortality pretty early on in the story. And then eventually, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't played FF9, but you should have played it by now. I'm not going to save spoilers for a game that's like over 20 years old. But anyways, yeah, so then Kuja eventually finds out he's kind of in the same situation that Vivi is. In fact, the exact same situation. He was created by someone else for the purposes of being a weapon of mass destruction. And seeing how both of these characters grapple with that is it's pretty nuts. I mean, Vivi, you know, he goes about it like, I'm going to live my life to the fullest. But this is by the end of it. He gets to a point where he's like, I'm going to live my life to the fullest, even if I have an expiration date that's not going to keep me from living my life and being who I am and doing good things. Kuja has the exact opposite reaction to this news. He goes, well, if I'm going to die, all of existence is going to die. Not just the world I live in, but the crystal that births life itself, everyone's memories, all of existence, everything has to go because I'm better than it. So if I can't live, neither can it. Yeah, pretty evil stuff. I have not talked about this fight at all, really. I've just kind of went on an FF9 tangent, but yeah. This isn't really a problem with this team at all, as you can see. Yeah, there was really no point for Alexander. Like, we really didn't need to keep our health up. That's why Vivi and the Warrior of Light are such a great combination, because that's the one thing people tend to worry about with Vivi is your health. Oh no, what am I going to do? Slap Warrior of Light on the team, that isn't a problem at all. They can't really hit you. As long as you just keep your shields up and refresh the LD buff, which I need to do right this second. Oh, look at that, perfect timing. They come back so I can take advantage of the splash damage while I refresh the shields. Perfect, overhead shields back. Splash damage got cut though, because they do that. Another thing looking back, I probably should have used more Ultimas with Kuja. I don't know what I was hanging on to him for. Yeah, for a blind run I'll take this, but there were definitely mistakes made. Like it matters. Why are you summoning them when they're already here? I think it just triggers after that overdrive attack. He just brings them back. It's also an HP threshold thing if you get him... I don't know the exact numbers, but if you get him down to a certain point, he'll put the orb back up and bring the crystals back up. So because of that, I would highly recommend bringing heavy AoE damage here, because you want to take out those crystals, because if you leave them alive for too long, they'll do this move called self-destruct, and it's exactly as it sounds. One of the crystals explodes, and it just wipes your party out. So there is kind of a lot to keep track of here, but if you just bring a team that can, 1, inflict holy, 2, do crazy AoE and take out the crystals, and 3, tank it on some capacity, you should be fine. 8 would be really good here. Very good. I mean, he wouldn't help much for the AoE attacks, but he'd take out the crystals pretty quickly if he's just countering them. And looking back at this, I probably should have waited until the crystals were back up to go into the burst. I don't know. Because I'm looking at it, and I definitely feel like I could have done more damage here. But as long as the brunt of the damage is focused on him, I think it's okay. Trans Kuja though. I wish they let him stay like this after the burst. The fact that it goes away, that's a little upsetting. They should have definitely let it stay. That was so cool. Another thing I should have done, I should have spammed through all of my C65s and take advantage of that damage output, because Embers of Darkness would have hit right there. Would have shaved off a few turns, I would imagine. Yeah, why you got 4 Ultimas left, dude? You should be using those. I mean, yeah, it's my first time doing the fight, so you learn things. Okay, we gotta shield that friend Kuja. No, I'm not pressing that LD until the crystals are dead. Bahamut's gonna eat all of it. Look, they have damage reduction too. That's so obnoxious. They're almost dead. And so is he. He's getting there. Okay, there we go. Crystals are gone. That LD is so good. I feel bad for anyone who decided to skip it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we're going to get an LD that hits that hard on impact until Tifa. That's a long ways away. So yeah, if you're behind on boards or something, and you need to play catch-up, grab that Kuja LD, and now would be the time. Just go through and farm all of your boards if you need to with Kuja. It will go by so fast, I guarantee it. See, I was a little upset that that didn't kill, but then I realized we could get the Trance Kuja finish. And of course we're gonna go for that. And done. So that's the last ultimate summon until we get Divine. Alright, there we go. That's Bahamut Lufenia taken down. Good luck to everyone else. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.